This is the start of my forever world in Minecraft Cobblemon. As I was scrolling on YouTube, I thought to myself, what is a way to memorize and do absolutely everything in Cobblemon without the limit of 100 days? So I gathered a few of my friends and we found a brand new Cobblemon server. And the good news is that means that you can play along with me as I record this series. You can literally join the server and be on the videos. All of the information about the server is going to be in the description and the IP is on the screen now. So be sure to join and come play along with me. And as any series has to start on a forever world, it is finally time that we pick our starter. I've already got this thing called a Myron hammer right here, which literally just came with a kit, which is super overpowered for getting stuff. But you know what? If you know me, of course I'm going to choose Sprigatito, the best Cobblemon starter. I'm telling you, like, you can't go wrong with Sprigatito. And you'll see that later in the episode that this is the absolute best starter. But there's also like loot balls scattered around the map, so I had to make sure to take some of those. But now it was time for me to use some of my special YouTuber privileges, which is literally just a few kits. I'm going to claim these and they're going to be very beneficial for the future. Like Pokeballs and some cool tools and stuff. And also some little extra stuff. And if you know me, you know what I'm a fan of. And we also got a free shiny with one of our kits, which happened to be Greninja. And then I opened the shiny crate and I got another Greninja. So now I have duplicate shiny Greninjas. I don't know how that came about, but you know what? I guess that's pretty cool and I'll take them. But it is time for me to do my favorite action absolutely ever. Like, this is literally the best thing that you can do in Minecraft Cobblemon. Also, you can do it as well when you join the server. And you can also use code Lusmax at checkout. And you'll get like 10 increased luck and a discount. So, yeah, that's definitely a plus. But we got some claim blocks, which will be useful for our future base. Which is going to be really cool, I can assure you that. But you know what? We got to see what we roll again. I'm hoping for some cash. And boom, of course, just like that, I summoned it. And we got ourselves some cash. We are already starting getting rich. We don't even need Lapras core anymore. We're just auto rich. And another 10k. You know what? I am definitely not going to complain about that. But playing Cobblemon consists of actually catching Pokemon. And using them to battle. So I went for my Insta starter. The one that I can't have missing from any team that I build. Charcadet, which turns into Cerulege. If you know me, you know that I just spam Cerulege because Cerulege is just the most overpowered Pokemon in the game. My team is going to get really good, though, and I plan on catching a legend soon. So that'll add a great addition to my Cerulege, but he doesn't really want to get caught. But eventually I caught him, so that means that I could buy malicious armor from the shop, and that means I can evolve my Charcadet. That shop is actually so incredibly clutch for being able to buy, like, Evo items and stuff, so you can evolve your Pokemon. But there we go with Cerulege. Literally, look at him. Oh my gosh, I'm glazing too much right now, to be honest. But you know what? He's kind of sick, to be fair, and he's a great addition. But you know what? We gotta buy him his first TM. I think I'm gonna try for Bitterblade, but I soon found out, which means that he has to level up before he can learn Bitterblade. I'm kind of stupid, to be honest. Nevertheless, while I was exploring, I found this super sick village. And it's custom to the server. So this is like a custom server village or whatever. But literally, look at this. This place is nice. If you take a look at these houses, I might have to colonize one of these. And there's this thing called a department store, which basically has villagers that sell Poke items. Insane. But you know what? I decided to check out the department store for the first time. And I found Pokeballs. I found a bunch of different stuff. This guy doesn't have a job. He needs to get a job. Trigger warning. I get it. Carbos so I could level up my EVs. Like, literally everything in this department store is something that I needed in the episode. Held items, evolution items. I know I keep saying that wrong, but you know what? This sparked something in my head and an idea for perhaps next episode that if we're going to want to get XP candies and level up all of our Pokemons, we're going to need relic coins, which means we could start a relic coin farm. This is brilliant, to be honest. But you know what? There's literally everything under the sun in this department store, which will come very, very, very clutch in the future. You can trust me on that. But for right now, unfortunately, we don't have that farm yet. So we're going to have to hunt these relic coins by hand, which proves to be a more tedious task than not. But we found another tower already, and I just noticed these. And that means that's Gigantamax, Dynamax. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest. But we're just going to hunt relic coins. Listen, we're not going to worry about that right now. There's Terralization, there's Megas, there's Dynamax, there's everything cool about it. But these flowers were clutch for more than just relic coins. They also gave out candies, which means now we evolved our Sprigatito into Florgato, which is one step closer to Meowscarada, the best Cobblemon in the game. Like, that's literally just how it goes. But then after that, we found this sick observatory. I don't know, but it ended up dropping diamonds, so of course we had to start harvesting some diamonds. And then for the rest of the time, we looted everything that we could, and we had to get back on the hunt for coins and also Pokemon. And also this medieval village, if you take it as you will. I think this medieval village is actually pretty sick, to be honest. This might be my house, to be fair. But we're finally hunting back for the towers. Let's see if we can get some more relic coins, and these should be easier to come by, I swear. Like, these are literally one of the hardest things to, like, obtain in the game, I swear. But these little pouches carry a good amount of them. So I started collecting the pouches as well. I wish I would have checked that towers from earlier. But this tower had something incredible. A Gyarados. Gyarados. I always get made fun of for the way I say it. I literally just leave a comment how you actually say it. Yeah, I have no idea, but I tried to catch it, and it decided to be a pain, as every other Pokemon does when you try and catch them. But I eventually caught it, and it was time to explore this dark, witch-looking castle tower thing. But you know what? We got a bunch of candies from it, so that means it's time to level up these guys. And hopefully we can get to a decent amount of levels so that we can battle and actually win. Because Dark Days is on this server, and Choice is kind of an easy battle, to be honest, but you know, Dark Days, not so much. So we've got to level up these guys quick. Try and get them as high level, get them all of their moves, EV trained, everything, so that we can conquer this server and become the absolute best, and maybe even start a gym. But first, we have to evolve Meowscarada, and that's exactly what we did. But I had to return back to the Nether for some reason. I don't really remember. Oh, I'm hunting a Volcanion. I remember it now. We're trying to get a legendary Volcanion, but while we're at it, we can go ahead and level up our Cloyster that Choice so valuably donated to us. You know what? I take back what I said about Choice being an easy battle. Thank you, Choice, for the shelter. Now we can make it into Cloyster, which just adds another effect to my team. So now we've got Gyarados, however you say it, Cerulege, this awesome place to battle Pokemon, Meowscarada, and we have a set team. But what we're about to find is going to change the team forever. We found ourselves a Torkoal. If you know anything, this is my guy. This guy sets up Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, all of that. So let's see if we can catch this guy first try. Oh my goodness, Bino has a gigantic Torkoal. I'm going to have to trade him for that, to be honest. It's pretty nice. I think he'll be able to trade with me. But I just got to catch this guy first. And then we decided to set up our base, our forever base, inside of the Deep Dark. This was probably not the best idea, to be honest. But sometimes you got to think about the cool aspect rather than the safety aspect. So we just decided to clear out stuff. And of course, I just took care of a Warden because he locked on to a Pokeball. Kinda weird, to be fair, but you know what? We have a little plan going. We have the blueprints, and this is going to turn out super, super cool. But I found another Sprigatito in the wild. Literally, what are the odds for that? I didn't even know they spawned in Dark Forest, and I found this guy in the wild. A starter in the wild is kinda crazy. The server then had a maze event, which means I get to gamble some more. So I opened the shiny crate hoping to get something insane, and it was, I can't say that, Hydrogen. I honestly don't know how to say that, to be honest, but Hydreigon? Something like that. But we're just clearing out space for the base, and of course I wanted a legendary Volcanion, so I decided to chill in the Nether with all of my friends. And hopefully it would spawn on us, because like there's like 4 of us. You know, like, you think there would be a good chance of it spawning on us? No, absolutely not. It spawned on somebody else. But it was a Raging Bolt, and I was going to do anything I possibly could to get this Raging Bolt. So I TP'd to the player, and I see if he would offer something. And he took my Hydreigon for it, or my Hydrogen, however you want to say it, which was the trade of a century, and I also sent him 50k. And I think that's a pretty fair trade, to be honest. But you know what? I think it was finally time that we were to go and check out the Deep Dark that Troysh had been working on, and look at our Raging Bolt, and this thing is massive. No meme intended. This thing is literally just huge. The Raging Bolt is huge for some reason, but I'm not complaining. I then went and tried to get all of the held items I would need. I made a Choice Scarf for Meowscarada, and I needed the Heat Rock for Torkoal if we were going to win any battles. So I gave Meowscarada the Choice Scarf, which is extremely overpowered. Don't judge my choice, please. And then we finally got a Stonecutter in order to make the Heat Rock to satisfy Torkoal and to put up Drought so that the Sunshine could be super overpowered for me. But you know what? After that, it was finally time that we battle Troysh. And going into this battle with Troysh, I literally knew with a full confidence that this was my battle. I knew that I was going to win this one. I didn't have a doubt in my mind. But Troysh accidentally sent the wrong battle at first, but now it's Giant Torkoal versus Baby Torkoal.
Of course I'm gonna win this. I didn't have any loss of confidence whatsoever. It's Choice I'm battling after all. We've battled him in literally every episode I think I've ever played on Cobblemon. And yeah, he decided to Gigantosaur his baby Torkoal. Now it's bigger than mine. But that doesn't matter because he is not prepared for what is about to come next. Which means that I took out his Torkoal, of course, but he also took out mine to be fair. And he decided to spam Dragapult. I'm not afraid of Dragapult because I have Ceruledge, which is not the best Pokemon to use against Dragapult. I need an Ice type. But you know what? I'm not scared to lose my Ceruledge because we have Triple Axle on Meowscarada with 0 EVs. And it still took out Dragapult. And then I threw out my Cloyster. And you see, Cloyster is just kind of annoying to play against, I would say, with full confidence. He's going to wall his whole team. Torterra, Torkoal, it doesn't matter who you put in front of me. I Shell Smash, so that means I hit first. I have all the speed and attacks, and I just wall his whole team. Even Netherite Goldango, which was actually kind of easy to beat. And I won the battle, of course, so that makes me the champion by default. It doesn't matter who I lose to from this point forward, I'm the champion. And then Bino wanted to fight. This one, I was a little worried about, I can't lie. I was a little worried about the Bino fight, because Bino actually knows how to play the game. I'm not saying Choice doesn't, but Bino is like super good for some reason. He just uses annoying Pokemons. Bino's just a baby after all. No, I'm joking, Bino. I like playing against Bino. It's a good challenge, but he's still a baby, and he still uses all the baby Pokemon. I mean, he is Steel type after all, so he just kind of spams King Gambit. Luckily, he didn't have one here. But he did have a few good Pokemon that did some damage to me. My Gyarados actually killed somebody, which is another plus because I started having confidence issues in him after the last battle. And then Choice decided to just start slaying Bison in the middle of our battle. But you know what? I'm kind of scared of Bino, to be honest. And he ended up whooping me with a Houndoom, low-key. I don't know how it happened, but he just decided... I don't know how he gets this stuff so quickly, to be honest. The server literally just released, and he already had enough stuff to make Houndoom actually crazy. My Raging Bolt came out, but to no avail, to be honest. I don't think my Raging Bolt really did anything. He may have took out Houndoom, to be fair. But yeah, I think this is as far as Raging Bolt goes. I tried my best, but Annihilate is kind of stacked. Wait, maybe I take out Annihilate. Honestly, to be fair with you, I don't really remember. But I think that I take out Annihilate. Nah, it's not doing much damage, to be honest. This is not looking good. And Bino's a baby. I go back on what I said. I take it back. Okay, there's a serious issue here. If we want to win battles, we need to EV train. With EVs, we'll be able to win these battles a lot better. So that's exactly what I did. I did /warp training, which is a bunch of places where you can train EVs, level up your Pokemon, etc. by battling weaker or stronger Pokemon, depending on what kind of team you got, to be honest. So I decided to train for a little bit, try and get all of my EVs up to where they should be, try and get everything up to where I could actually win a battle. I just need speed. That's all I need to do is just outspeed, because most of mine are heavy hitters. In the next episode, I definitely have to make Meowscarada Pro Team, though. I have to find a way to get an ability patch, even if I have to open a crate for it, because it just has Overgrow right now. We need Protein to be able to hit with all of our abilities. So then I decided to start training my Ceruledge. We need to do Ceruledge, Cloyster, Raging Bolt, Gyarados. I'm not too worried about Torkoal, to be honest, in this episode, but you know what? We got our Ceruledge max speed, and then we joined a server event where we had to complete a maze for a key, which could open a crate and give us a shiny Pokemon. So, of course, I was game. And this maze was so hard. But we finished it, and I got the key. You should definitely join Myron to come play on these events, because these keys are actually very useful, and the events are just super fun, to be fair. But you know what? It was time for us to open our crate, so we opened up this crate to see what we got, and nothing good. Nothing good, to be honest. A Kink Clank, which I ended up giving to Choice, and then we went to Choice's house, because a legend spawned on him, a Wo-Chin. So I caught the Wo-Chin, and I decided to steal it from Choice. He is most definitely not getting back. But now it is time for the most difficult battle that we will face in this Cobblemon series. A battle against Dark Days. And here it goes. Me versus Dark Days. Put in your bets who you think's gonna win. It's definitely gonna be me, trust me. But I wouldn't bet on me either, to be honest. I would also bet on Dark Days. But you know what? My Torkoal's gone, and he's playing Nintendo Switch while we're trying to battle. That is not battle appropriate, I'm telling you. That emote has got to go. But you know what? My Torkoal already got splashed. And my Gyarados is poisoned versus this flower. We took it out, but not in good shape. My poison is actually leaking through me right now. And if you see the lag spikes, I apologize about that. It's my mod pack. I have a good few mods in there, to be honest. But then I decided to Gigantamax my Meowscarada. thinking that would do something. And then he Gigantamaxed an iron. I don't even know how to say that, to be honest. It just didn't go well. I think that's an iron. I don't even know what you call it, to be fair, but it was just not a good time for me. And so I shadow sneaked it, doing the only thing I could, and it did some damage. I was actually proud of Cyrilage, although it wasn't for long until Raging Bolt had to come and do some damage for me. But hopefully this ends the battle, right? I'm gonna win here, right, guys? No, Charizard comes out, and I instantly crush Charizard, believe it or not. There's nothing that Charizard could do against me, no matter what. Raging Bolt is literally way too overpowered. But yeah, I didn't end up winning. Kinda awkward, to be honest, but it was time for us to take a new battle with Blue Bolt, which I honestly fought Blue Bolt before and won with my team on, I don't even know, to be honest. I just beat him, but I have a Gigantosaurus Rex Ceruledge that also got knocked out, so Blue Bolt's kind of whooping me here. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how I let this slide, to be fair, but you know what, we're not gonna let him get back like that. We gotta take out some of his Pokemon as well, and you know what, I think I know the guy for that. He's got a bug team, and my fire people might be gone, but you know what? I can take out a bug team anytime I want to with Raging Bolt. Trust me, it works. Or not. I started taking heavy damage here, which is not the best for my scenario, to be fair. Yeah, I was kind of getting bullied and kicked around, but I beat the other guy, and now it's time to deal with Scissor. I probably should have had more fire Pokemon on my team, to be fair, but Cloyster was out here, and he was throwing stones at people, which means that we are very good to go. We got Cloyster. I think that I'm confident that we can beat Blue Bolt. And he threw out Scissor, which is so annoying. And so is Scolipede. They're both so annoying. I can't stand either of them. So I threw back out my Raging Bolt, and it just didn't go well. But you know what? I decided to battle Ember instead. You know what? I think I should take on a lesser opponent. But I'm going to blame this all on the lag spikes for what's about to happen. And you know what? Dark Day set up a very cool mini game for us to play in the future. So we're just going to focus on that rather than these battles. We're just going to get through these battles. Nothing happened. I beat everybody I battled. Trust me, I had a Gigantosaurus Rex Ceruledge who ended up losing to a Chandelier. Okay, it's hard not to tilt. But you know what? My Cloyster is definitely going to take out this Chandelier with easy. It's going to be ease. Shell Smash is the most overpowered thing in the game. I'm super fast, my attack's up, and it is time for me to absolutely obliterate this Chandelier. Thank goodness for Focus Sash. I look back on these like, how in the world did I let this slide? I threw rocks at him. You know what? He deserved to have rocks thrown at him, though, to be fair, after that battle. This is just not going well. I'm instantly going to call for a rematch because this, I don't even know. This guy's a Doublade. That's not even Edgy Slash. That's not even who I thought it was. But I still I think I end up losing to this guy somehow. And it makes absolutely zero sense. But you know what? I'm just excited for the game that Dark Day set up, honestly. That's where my mind's at right now, if you couldn't tell. I definitely won that battle. I'm not going to lie. Annihilate, no problem. You can make him as big as you want. Raging Bolt is going to take care of this guy. Believe me when I say that. Look at that. He just got zolted. And here's the start of something absolutely amazing. Dark Day's 1-to-1 recreated Squid Games inside Minecraft. And we're going to get to play and participate with all of my friends on Myron. Listen, this is the best thing to ever happen. I get to beat all of my friends and collect a rare Pokemon just by winning. I may have not won the battles, but I have definitely won the war.
The goal here is to make it to this side without falling. If you fall, you will be dead. You may now begin in any order.
And even that has the voice. The voice is literally there and everything. Like, this is a 1-to-1 realistic Squid Games. And this was the smoothest one for me because I am absolutely goated at parkour. And I made it all the way across. And then I knocked Ember off because I decided to push him off for beating me with a Chandelier earlier.
Number 2 has been eliminated.
And that means that I could go back to the end and be smooth sailing. And Blue Bolt got pushed down by another player. So that means that we got to continue and go all the way through the games again on to the next game. And I just wonder what that would be. But we're back at the bunks now, and it's time to claim our money for the day and prepare for the next game.
Everyone, please stay on the grass and don't proceed any further. If you are found not crouching at any point, you will be eliminated. When I say green light, you may begin. Red light, you stop. Green light.
And just like that, the games had started. It was my turn to win, but I have to be very, very careful here. Not
Red light.
to lose. This is actually pretty intense, to be honest. But you know what? I think I got this in the bag.
Green light.
And I go, and it shouldn't be a problem, to be fair. And
Red light.
okay, this is actually pretty tedious, but you know what? I made it to the end. Me and I don't even know who that is. Is that Bino? I think me and Bino made it to the end, right? Yeah, definitely. Oh, we almost got pranked here. That's actually okay. That's a little bit too close. And
Red light.
oh, nope, not that one either. And
Green light.
oh, and we made it across. And it is literally choice left. That is hilarious.
Player eliminated. Number 4. Choice. You should now be removed.
And that just means it is me versus Bino in the finals. Who is going to be able to take this home? Of course, it's
I'll
me.
let you take a vote. If you two vote for the same,
Nope, absolutely not.
you can have alternate options. First option, the red square. You can end the game
Not happening.
and you can go home with smaller prizes. Or you can go for the blue one and end the game with only one winner. Your votes will now be red to take small prizes, blue to take home a whole new one.
I told you I wasn't going to agree to this.
The results must be the same.
I'm definitely winning.
Calculating votes in 3, 2, 1.
Boom. You know exactly what that means. It is my time to win.
Unfortunately, the decision was not unanimous. We shall proceed to the final game. You have won yourself a very, very elusive prize.
And so I did it. Exactly what I said I was going to do from the very start. I went and I won the Squid Games. So that means that I get a sick prize now. I honestly don't know what it was, but Dark Days said it was a one-of-one Pokemon, which is something that I'll definitely take. So let's trade for that.
Please find you something to trade for your exclusive prize. You may now freely leave the Squid Games. Congratulations.
And I'm a winner, just like that.
This is an FBI.
But it is time for our final battle. Except there's a Wither here, which is quite unfortunate. And Troish, said the FBI was here, and I guess that's why. But you know what? Our final battle is Troish. So we should definitely take this home and win the final battle. There's absolutely no excuse why not. But I also got a Raichu plushie, which is very cute. But you know what? It's time to handle Troish. This should not be difficult whatsoever. Literally, I don't know. It's Troish. I like Troish. There's no way he just challenged me in a double. Hold up. We got to get this fixed. Okay, there we go. We finally got that sorted out, which means that we can finally battle Troish for the final battle. This is going to be the easiest swoop of my life. I can take care of Goldingo any day, even if he's netherite. Even if he's big, I can take care of him. I've got Dynamax too, buddy. You're not special. Ouch. That actually kind of hurt, to be honest. Ouch. You know what? That's kind of awkward. You know what? I'm not going to lose. Trust me here. It's actually impossible for me to lose. So we're just going to throw out Cerulege. Cerulege has got this, bro. Cerulege is so overpowered. You know what? We're going to meet fire with fire, and we're going to make my Cerulege Dynamaxed. And, yeah. Looks like his Goldingo is cooked now. And, yeah, that's... Oh, it literally just drained him in one hit. You know what? I will definitely take that. For the final battle, this has to be good. So we decided to rock out with Cerulege. He threw out Torkoal. I'm not scared of Torkoal, to be honest. I can just Max Flare him. I can Max Knuckle him. That sounds crazy, to be honest. Or Max Phantasma him. And you know what? I honestly don't know which one to pick because I was looking for a move that healed me. Bitter Blade doesn't heal me when I'm Gigantamaxed or Dynamaxed or whatever it's called. But you know what? That really didn't do anything, that fire move. That was probably not the smartest move in my book, to be honest. I'm sitting here scratching my head. But you know what? I don't fear. Because I know that he's not going to be able to retaliate with nothing crazy. And we just drained him. But unfortunately, we did lose our Gigantamax Dynamax. So, that's a little bit awkward, to be honest. I guess... Oh my gosh, oh, okay. Whew. That was low-key close. I low-key thought I should have went with Shadow Sneak. And I clicked the other one, Bitter Blade, which was kind of a mixed click, but you know what? I'm not too worried about it, to be fair. So we're just going to go ahead and deal with Machop. This should not be too difficult, to be honest. I can hit him with a Fairy type. Honestly, he just terrorized him. I don't even know what that means, but half health? You know what? I'll take it. And as you can tell, we've got Raging Bolt out because that happened. But then, oh, he has Wo-Chin. I'm not scared of Wo-Chin, to be honest. But he's taking forever to make his move, to be fair. I'm a little bit worried as to what his well-being is at this point. Maybe he's quitting on the final He just rage quit. But he joined back and said it was connection issues. So I guess I'm going to give him another chance. And that's exactly what I did. And he Gigantamaxed his Machop again. But it was zero match for my Raging Bolt. And on the final time that we battled, the final battle, I just had to hit this move, and of course I won. That's all that mattered, was the final battle. Lusmax won. That's all that we needed to see was right there. This summer has been kind of crazy so far, so please excuse me, but I'm going to make a series out of this. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All of your support is greatly appreciated. Shout out to all of the channel members, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you very much, and goodbye. And subscribe, I mean it.